you're being called to like a higher form of knowledge. There are keys here. The Hierophant has keys. And so the Hierophant wants to educate you on about yourself, about your higher self. If you like answer the call for higher knowledge, you're given the key. You step into that emperor role. You step into your power. Helps you step into being that leader that you're meant to be. So we had the moon, the tower, and the hermit. And that's possibly why like the sad thoughts were coming in. Like with the moon, it tells me that there are some thoughts that you've had lately that like are coming like to the surface. Like things that you have, not really acknowledged, that you've been pressing down. Those suppressed feelings that in your subconscious, they're coming to the surface. And that could be through dreams, that could be through signs and synchronicities, or it could just be your thoughts. And it's time for you to really like honor these thoughts because it's really causing a tower in your life. And like I don't view towers necessarily as bad. Like I view towers like it's a wake up call. It's like this is for your betterment. Yes, it hurts. These feelings hurts. These thoughts hurts, especially because you suppressed them for so long. Because you didn't want to deal with them, and now like it's the point you have to deal with them. And the hermit was behind that. So it's like it's time for you to go inward, and really address these subconscious thoughts you're having, these type of dreams you're having, these signs and synchronicities. How are you really feeling? Take some time to ground yourself, meditate, do yoga, exercise, go sit outside, go on a walk, do something where you can sit with your thoughts and really try to figure out, why are you feeling this way? What is the root of these feelings? Because once you address that, you can move forward. And that was, what came out next. The Chariot, the Chariot, the Six of Cups, and the Six of Swords. So it's time for you to move forward from the path to a brighter day, a sunnier place, away from the snake. Even if the snake is following, it's okay. You're not looking behind you, you're looking forward. The past may have been nice, but now it's time to move forward. And I love that it was 66 in the Chariot. So it's like you have a choice. And like, there's so much duality in the first two. You have a choice. You can go take this path or this path. You can accept the cup or not accept the cup. But notice in this one, there's no duality. It's just like one moving forward. No matter what choice you make, you'll move forward in a direction. I believe that the tower has come in and you're having, and the moon's at play because I believe you no longer want to exist how you've existed for so long. There's a certain path or lesson you've learned multiple times or chosen multiple times. My eyes twitching now. Oh my gosh. It's a little painful. Oh my gosh. It's like a painful lesson you've learned. But I believe you're ready to move past it. You're ready to, exist in the world differently, take a better a path that, is for your, higher self, your betterment, something that will ascend you and rise you. You want something different for your life, and that's okay. Like, sometimes people like be like, oh, she changed, or it's like, no, like, I'm just ready to do better. And I'm not saying that I'm better than you. I'm saying that there's a better way to exist in the world than the way that you believe, and that's fine. We're all entitled to have our own beliefs. And walking away from the past is hard. Like, this could be, family. This could be friends. This could be a work environment that you've been at for years, friends you've had for years. And, even group activities that you've been a part of for years. And that is very challenging to do. There are a lot of emotions wrapped up in this. And, it can really, like, plague on your mental to walk away. But you have to understand, like I said, you're going towards that brighter sky. You're going towards, joy and happiness, something fulfillment for you. So it's time for you to move forward. The next thing was the Hierophant, the Lover, and the Ace of Coins. Hierophants, the Lovers, and the Ace of Coins. So I have a sense that when I said, go towards your higher self, like you're being called to like a higher form of knowledge. You're being called to learn something different, to be something different, to, be in line with your higher self. This is what you're being called to. And this is what, you're suggesting being, moving forward to, leaving the past behind and moving forward, ascending to that, your higher self, coming in alignment with your higher self, learning new things, existing in the world different, and possibly by the lessons you learn, you help others. But there's a choice you have to make. The lovers to me is always about making a choice. And that, again, can be very hard, how we saw with that Six of Cups. This could be how you've always loved yourself. You may have loved yourself being wrapped up in other people, not realizing that, you probably need to get that love from the inside, give it to yourself. Or it could have been with a partner or family members. And sometimes when we step away from that, that can really cause, if we saw the tower early, some type of tower in ourselves because we realize we were being fulfilled and our value of love and our sense of self came from others instead of ourselves. So when we lose that, it's like, who am I? And it's hard to even have love for yourself. But that's why you're being called to come into alignment with your higher self. Because when you come in alignment with your higher self, you understand no one loves you more than you. No one can love you better than you. And, the way you take care of yourself, the way that you educate yourself, the way you present yourself in the world, the way you carry yourself, all of that is learned, from your higher self and going within. We saw the hermit earlier, and that's really about going inwards and understanding who you are. A lot of the answers that you're seeking are inside of you. And sometimes we need mentors and teachers, and we have to, be careful about the people we choose as mentors and teachers to help bring out in us what we already have inside. That's not to say that you can't do it yourself. Some of us can't. The Ace of Pentacles was behind the Lovers, and so it's just like an opportunity. And I mean, I'm loving like how everything looks like the sun and so vibrant and radiant, and it's like an opportunity will present itself. An opportunity will come from whatever choice you make. When we saw the Chariot, you're gonna go right, you're gonna go left. There was a duality in pretty much all of this. The moon is like, there's two. Chariot, there's two. The Lovers, there's two. A lot of duality. And, for me, when it's making a choice, it's really about, and, you normally see a male and a female, but to me, it's always like the light and the dark. The light self and the shadow aspect. Masculine and feminine energy. Making a choice between which path you want to take, which person you want to listen to, which side of yourself you want to listen to. No matter what happens, and it's like there's an opportunity being presented to you. I believe if you align with your higher self, what comes next is the Emperor, the Four of Swords, and the Nine of Pentacles. And what I love this is because I was like, you're being called for like higher knowledge. And it's like, if you like answer the call for higher knowledge, you're given the key. You step into that Emperor role. Like, there are keys here. The Hierophant has keys. And so the Hierophant wants to educate you on about yourself, about your higher self, learning, certain morals and values, or even esoteric knowledge. And, if you accept the call, you're presented with a key. This key, helps you step into your power, helps you step into being that leader that you're meant to be. And that could be leading the masses. That could just be a leader in your own life, a leader of your family. There is something that you're being called to in order for you to step up and be a leader. Understand accepting the call will definitely exhaust you. Okay? Yeah, that's the warning for you right there. Rest. Through all of this metamorphosis and changing aren't easy. Transformation, shedding a skin, coming in alignment with your higher self and ascending, that takes time like a butterfly. When a butterfly is in its cocoon, it's, at its weakest. When people are, transforming, they are at their weakest. And a lot of times people want to take that for granted, or sometimes we want to just keep pushing, even though that we're going through a metamorphosis. Because on the outside you become stronger, but imagine how strong you be if you actually rest. Imagine how strong you are if you actually go through the metamorphosis, if you stay in the cocoon. We saw the hermit out here earlier about really going inward. Take time to yourself. It's important as you learn, as you're being taught these, new forms of knowledge, these new forms and narratives for existing in the world, as you're being taught this knowledge and really reflect on it and do introspection. It is important to rest. You need to rest. It's like you're sleeping, but you're sleeping with a knife in your hand. It's like, are you really sleeping? It's like you really need to get your rest. Because if you get that rest, you come out the Nine of Pentacles. And again, like the Nine of Pentacles, this is like my Black Girl Magic card. But you don't have to be a girl, okay? It's like we can all embody Black Girl Magic, okay? Male or female, any ethnicity. But it's just like your radiance, your abundant. You don't necessarily need anyone because you're so grounded in your work, so grounded in nature, that you can handle all of this just fine. You can exist just fine. You can function just fine. So it's like, it's okay to go through this change, and it's hard, it's challenging. And you're talking about walking away from how you've always existed in the world up until this point. You've been seen a certain way, you've carried yourself a certain way, you've even probably spoke a certain way. And now you're ready to mature, you're ready to ascend, you're ready to transform. And that takes time. And to understand the direction you're meant to go, that requires you to go inward and listen to yourself. And I appreciate you listening to me. I appreciate you watching this, but also understand that sometimes we have to turn the podcast off. We have to, turn the YouTube off. We can't necessarily ask other people for opinions about what is best for us. Like I said, we really have to go inward and listen to ourselves. You have to find that oneness in yourself, again, grounding yourself, connecting with Mother Nature, prayer, anything that really helps your mind be quiet, sitting in silence, chanting, anything that really brings you back to your center and your oneness so you can get the answers you need to ascend.